The Lafitear LV1 has been always in my ears for more than 3 weeks now, with more than 24 hours of total listening time. My main sources are the Arturia Minifuse 1 single-ended and FEO KA13 4.4mm balanced connections. I have paired the Lafitear LV1 with Dunu SNS ear tips and the CVJ LS200 cable. The Lafitear LV1 is an interesting budget hybrid with a composite unit of 10mm dynamic driver and a 6mm planar driver. And even the brand itself is quite intriguing. Lafitear as a brand has been around for a while, remaining in the background of Chi-Fi, overshadowed by the likes of KZ, QKZ, TRN, and the likes. One should do a little bit of searching to come across them. And it is quite understandable, since Lafitear's IMs don't look eye-catching at first and does not seem to have the same quality as other Chi-Fi competitors. In fact, this is one of the two Lafitear IMs I was interested in buying because of its configuration. But enough about the brand. The LV1 is lightweight and has a comfortable fit and seal. It has a very comfortable shape and has great stability in the ears. But pressure handling is not great. I'm still aware of the IEMs being in my ears, but felt no wear fatigue in my time using it. There is a sense of unrefinement and cheapness in its resin build, but reminiscent and competing with other Chi-Fi build quality. Though, there aren't any sharp edges that may impede wearing it. The stock cable is decent, having a slightly more stylish design, but it's quite tangly and keeps memory. The metal accents don't add much for its premium feel, and perhaps even makes it feel and look cheaper. At least, it's only slightly microphonic. Otherwise, it's a good stock cable. Finally, the sound. The LV1's signature can be described in one word: bassmosphere. Bass plus atmosphere. But that title isn't necessarily good or bad. As it implies, the LV1's sound emphasizes bass more than other frequency regions. It is, however, tuned quite tastefully, not making the sound at all muddy or fuzzy. Whatever the bass driver used seems to be of quality. The bass extension is quite impressive and addicting, providing the most textured rumble in this price range. Though, the transients, the attack and decay, is quite slow, and others may find it sloppy. But there is a polished quality in it, thanks to its texture. It is akin to wearing bassy over-ear headphones, where the presence of the bass lingers in the background and loiters a little longer. Hip-hop, electronic, and rap genres are excellent, if not perfect, with the LV1 because of this. But it makes every other song more or less enjoyable. Because, well, I'm a bass head for one, but it also reveals the details within the bass. Gives more body to the bass guitars and percussion instruments too. It does not make me feel quite punching the air, but it does make me feel like feeling the air due to its excellent sub-bass extension and emphasis, amazing rumble, good dynamics, and body to the sound. The mid-range does not pierce the atmosphere the bass provides, but it isn't on its atmospheric level either. The mid-mids is quite scooped and recessed, and the lower mid-range exhibits slight boominess and bass bleed, which is still satisfying, mind you. But nothing here screams neutral or competing with other technical IMs in its price range. Though, this trait would be an issue because of how the other frequencies are handled. It is supposed to be a fun-sounding, guilty pleasure IM, and I confess, I enjoyed it very much. Unfortunately, I did not enjoy the rest of the frequency range as much. As expected, this is a V-shaped sounding IM and perhaps barely balanced, but the unnatural timbre of vocals and instruments is off-putting for me. This is because of the nasally and boxy vocals. Unlike the bass, which imposes its presence, the upper mid-range does not, making the soundstage unnaturally deeper but narrower. Imaging too is dull, and detail retrieval is an afterthought. That is not to say that micro details would be lost, but it would take a lot more effort than normal to focus on. But thanks to the boxy presentation, The LV1 has no sublance at all to my ears, and that is true for the rest of the treble. The treble also contributes to the boxing issue. It is quite a punch to the face that there is no sense of air and the shimmer and sparkle of the cymbals, considering there is a planar driver that is most probably handling the treble. Unlike the bass extension, treble extension is rolled off. I guess, thanks to that, it does not exhibit the planar sheen or splashiness to electronic elements and cymbals. I have a suspicion, however, that this 6mm planar driver isn't a planar driver at all, but a dynamic driver. But I digress, I didn't open this IEM. The Lafitear LV1 is an interesting budget hybrid with a rare, if not unique, configuration at its price range. Now, I shall fail the no comparison challenge and say that this is a better value KZ Symphony, but isn't exactly the one I wished for. If I could combine the good parts of both of these IEMs, it would be these two. Nevertheless, this could be the next budget bass head set for a sub bass head. Though, it is not quite head shaking or head bobbing, but the extension is its defining feature. It is quite disappointing, however, for the rest of the frequency range, and fails to compete with other IEMs outside its niche in many aspects such as timbre, technicalities, and versatility. If you are looking for a guilty pleasure set, the most excellent sub-bass extension and texture and rumble in this price range, or listen to electronic, hip-hop, or rap, and willing to sacrifice vocal, technical, and soundstage quality, the LV1 is a good proposition. Thank you very much for listening to my review, and I hope it was helpful. Please feel free to leave any comments, questions, and feedback for the video. Now, it's time to gain out.